Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your weekday daily card reading where we dive into the cards and see what's in store with a message from Spirit. I'm Jeanette Byro. I'm a medium and a cosmic channeler, and welcome. It's Monday, and last week was a week. So I just want to say to all of you, thank you so much for your patience and your understanding. And you know, having to recalibrate from Mount Shasta was something else. Like, holy moly, but it was 100% worth it. So, uh, you will be able to tune into the podcast I did on Mount Shasta. So, you don't want to miss that if you're curious about everything. Um, but another thing I want to share, which is kind of sad, and hopefully I won't start crying here, but we had to say goodbye to my sweet cat last week. And it's funny that on the one message that I did put out last week on Monday, she made herself known, and so many of you commented, "Oh, I can hear your little kitty in the video," and that was her last video, and still makes me sad, even though she was old. She was here for so long, almost 20 years, and such a sweet cat, little black cat, and it was time for her to go, and she was ready, and so I mean, it's kind of the best way possible. And I was able to see her after she crossed over. She showed me herself in a meadow, which was really sweet. And then she also came to me the first night after and showed me her spirit body, which was in the shape of a cat. So I knew it was her, but it was full of just sparkling blue lights. So bittersweet. And so, yeah, so it's last week was a week. We had the full moon in Leo. And I'm sure all of you have been feeling all kinds of energies. So we're going to start a fresh week this week. I am using the wisdom of Gaia. Again, we're going to stick with this one this week and see what the messages are. So let's dive in. Okay, I'm going to give this a good shuffle here. Tune in and see what's what. Okay, Spirit is saying that many of you have been feeling like you're holding the key, but you don't know where to put the key. You're like, I have the key, whether that's the knowledge, the understandings, the people needed, the community, whatever it is, you have the key, but you're like, where is the keyhole? Like, which lock, which door does this unlock? They're showing me that this week, many of you are going to find the key that matches the lock. Okay, so I find that really interesting. There is still a presence of this dense energy this week as well, one that I talked about last Monday. There's still a presence of it. But having kind of moved through the energies of it, we are wiser to it, therefore have a greater ability to take it less personally. We'll still feel it, but we'll know, this isn't mine. This energy is not mine. I don't need to take it on. So with that, though, they're saying lock and key are in hand. So I'm really curious how that plays out for all of you this week. All right, let's see what's in the cards here. All right, Spirit. Hey, interesting. I'm gonna take one more. Okay, so it's this idea of like rise above. So the first card out was the Magic Mount or Majestic Mountain. Sorry, raise your awareness. So this is the first thing that's so important right now is for us to raise our awareness, kind of like Spirit said last week, right? Get above the noise. If you picture being on that mountaintop, you're above the noise. Get above that noise so you can see from that higher perspective what's going on. So you do not get trapped in the whirl, right? In the whirly energy right now. It's not for you to get trapped in. Something to consider. The next card is we have the towering tree, and this says grow and learn every day. What I'm really getting from this card, though, is again this imagery, towering tree. When you climb up that towering tree and you're sitting in the canopy, you're seeing from that higher perspective. So we have two cards now asking for higher perspectives. This is like a double down on it. Spirit's like, listen, do not get caught in the whirl. Doesn't mean you won't feel it. Doesn't mean you won't, um, maybe have your toes dipped in it, but you have the ability to climb metaphorically. Okay. Maybe literally for some of you, go climb a tree. I love climbing trees. Um, it's about purposely choosing to come up to this higher perspective. And this will be really valuable for all of you. So again, doubling down on it, really important. Within this week, though, we have this element of fire really present. And we have this crackling fire card, one of my favorite cards in this deck. And it says, fuel your passion. And so what I also get from this is the energy coming in. The way I see it is there's a rolling low density energy, but on top of that, there's almost like this fire or this almost like gaseous state that can catch flame. And so if you use that higher energy above it to fuel your passions can catch flame. And I think that's really where the idea of lock and key in hand comes from, and that it's ready, it's available for you. So again, if I was going to say if you get caught, and it's not that, because you may get caught, but you can choose to step out of it. If you choose to stay in the density, it'll be harder to find this sort of gaseous state, this energetic high vibe spirit state to fuel your passions. So this is really telling me there's a lot of conscious choice this week. Conscious choice is really important this week to purposely climb higher so that you can fuel your passions, okay? And the last card is Enlightening Sun. And this one says, live your purpose. And I think that's just so important. If you want to fuel your passions, you have to be living on purpose. It doesn't mean you have to know exactly what your purpose is and have all the answers figured out. I mean, my purpose is always evolving, right? Like knowledge and wisdom helps us evolve in what it is we are doing, why we are doing what we're doing, what our why is. So, in order to live on purpose or live in your purpose to fuel your passion, it has to come from conscious choice, right? That's what it comes down to. So, something to consider as we start this week. It feels like a high energy week with a lot of duality. So, something to consider. All right, everyone, I will leave that with all of you. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me. And do check out the podcast, as well as the Tune In to Spirit sessions. There will be some available. And I will leave that with all of you. So have a beautiful start to your week, and I will see you all tomorrow.